And welcome back, student body, to yet again another seminar with the Mentuition Academy. We are discussing all things relationship, sex, attraction, female nature. So this is going to be the most comprehensive course you've ever taken online. All right. What's up? My boy SB is in the house.
What's up, guys?
And today we got a beautiful lady. She's going to make up for it all by herself. She said she's only willing to come if she's the center of attention. So
yes, always.
All right, what's up?
All right, so give us your name, your age, and your relationship status.
Okay, my name is Omara Flores. I'm 26 years old and I'm single.
Okay. Where are you from?
Nicaragua.
Nicaragua. Nice. Okay.
Beautiful. How long have you been in the States?
8 years. It's gonna be 9 this year.
Okay, so you came at 18.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, what a change. Okay, so what made you come to the States?
Well, my mom got married, so we have to come. I had to come with her. At the beginning, I didn't want to because I had a relationship for 2 years, so I didn't want to leave that because I thought that was everything in the world. So I got here. I got here and everything was different language.
Better or
back then it wasn't better. Now it's
you
amazing.
Forgot about that guy real quick. You gotta get her. You gotta get him young, guys. Peer bonding. Gotta get her young.
Yeah.
Okay. So how did this guy take it that you were gonna leave?
Oh, we cried. Like he was.
We cried.
He cried.
He cried.
Whoa. Okay.
He was like 4 years older than me.
Wow, that's old enough not to be crying.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, why he wouldn't be in love with me?
So your mom secured the papers. So hold on. So what happened? This guy was visiting in Nicaragua and he just fell in love with your mom?
Yeah, so he went there and from one moment to another she told us, I'm getting married and we're moving.
Damn
I'm
right.
like,
opportunities.
oh my God. So we waited for 4 years after we got papers and we came here, but they kept the relationship. They're still married, 11 years.
So it can happen, guys. Maybe she won't leave you after you bring her to America.
Actually, they met, and 3 days later, he proposed to her.
Damn, passport bros is up. They know what they want. They know. You know what it is? After you dealt with Western women long enough, you rapidly learn what to value because you're so deprived of it.
Right.
You don't get it when you date women and the relationship is relatively, rewarding and good, you tend to take it for granted. Right. When you're deprived of it and you finally get it, you're like, oh snap, it can be that much better. Yeah. Okay. So on a scale of 1 to 10, and we're talking about looks, obviously, how do you rate yourself on a scale from 1 to 10?
100.
Well,
100.
Come on, it has to be 1 to 10. Come on now.
10.
10, perfect.
10. I'm a 10 but.
What's that mean?
I'm a 10, but we always
have a 10 but.
You said but. I was like, you got a 10.
Well, hold on.
No but.
Is there? So you don't think there's anything that you have to improve on? You just think.
Of course, as human beings.
Yeah, but I mean your looks. You think your looks are perfect?
Looks wise.
I love myself the way I am. So I
let me ask you this.
Let
me ask you this. To guys, do you think you're a 10? You think guys think you're a 10? Wow. Okay.
Yes, 100%.
What is the first thing that you notice about an attractive guy? So like when you see a guy, what's the first thing that
attract me to that person?
Yes, like
how they treat me. I don't care if they fat.
But when you first see him though, you first see him.
Okay, so appearance is very important. I need to be attracted to a person. However, that's not important. At the end of the day, if I'm gonna age with a person, we're not gonna look the same forever, right? So I rather prefer someone that is funny, that take care of me, that is there, than that looks amazing and has all muscles and stuff like that.
All right, so but I mean, sounds like the looks is only just to get in the door. Then once you get in the door, then you start judging. In other words, if you weren't attracted to him physically, the other stuff would have never come into play anyway. So it's not that looks don't matter; it's that looks are kind of like a given. Like all cars have 4 tires. I mean, that's a given.
Yeah.
For you to drive it, it has to have 4 tires, right?
Yeah.
What about money? Like, do you prefer him to have?
It's important.
It's important?
For me, it's important.
When you say take care, what do you mean by that? Like, you mean pay all the bills? You mean
yes,
take care of you like he's attentive, or are you talking about take care of you like financially?
take care of me in every single way, financially, physically. Like take care of me, saying, "Hey, baby, are you okay? Do you need anything?" Like if I'm pregnant, I want to make sure that he really take care of me, that he's like cover me and be there.
Okay.
Financially, it's very important that the person take care of me, because a lot of marriages end because of financial situations. So that's 100% very important.
Oh God, that was so real. What she
got
said.
that right. Yeah, that's good.
So real. It's so practical. It's like you better have your bread if you're trying to, secure the chick. You gotta have the bread, bro. I try to tell guys all the time. They complain that the women aren't submissive and the women don't cooperate. Listen, you've always had to pay for submission. 50 years ago, 60 years ago, when women were submissive, they were submissive because the guy paid for everything. The women today are just as submissive as they were in the past. The difference is they're submitting to their boss. They're submitting to their manager because that person pays them every 2 weeks. Yeah. So if you got all the bills covered, that's pretty much the only time that you can really what's the word? Expect. I'm not saying you can't get submission and not pay all the bills. I'm just saying that's the only time when you can expect it. Like you're entitled to it, basically. And then what you were talking about, take care of you, mentally, emotionally. The first thing she said when she got out the car, she called me out. She said, "Oh yeah, I passed that test, by the way." And I thought about it earlier. I said, "Oh shit, I fucked up because I text you, but I forgot to ask you how did you do on the test yesterday." So I was cognizant of it. But that was literally the first thing she said to me. So guys, take notes. Keep that in mind. If a girl tells you, "Hey, I have a test," or "I got something like that," the next time you speak to her, make sure you ask how that was. And when you text girls for the first time in a day, make sure you put the good morning in there first. Make sure you put the good afternoon in there. Yep. They care.
Just don't put what you doing? WYD.
I do it all the time.
Don't do that because
I do it all the time.
No.
No, she's like, fail.
The first thing I think is if he doesn't even want to write the full sentence, how he's gonna take care of me.
Wow.
Take notes, guys, man.
Notes.
All right, I gotta ask you, how long was your longest relationship? That means no breaks, no pingas in between, no other guys. Just how long have you been with one guy consistently?
I have never cheated on a boyfriend. But my longest relationship lasted 4 years.
4?
It was with the guy.
The guy that you left?
Yes. So it was 2 years in a relationship in Nicaragua and 2 years once I was here. Okay. So after 2 years of moving here, we ended the relationship.
So you stayed in a relationship with him when you moved here?
Yeah.
And then I thought.
How'd that work though?
Yeah, was it like?
Because he can't visit.
It was bad.
He couldn't visit.
After a year, I was able to go back to Nicaragua and I spent a month and a half there. And it was kind of awkward because it's like we met again and it was weird. But I was so in love and I for those 4 years, I never paid attention to anybody besides him. And I was so in love, I guess.
Nah, you're just young. You got to get them young, guys. When they're young, they're like in a daze, man.
It was my first everything.
Yeah, they can't think about nothing else. If you take the virginity especially, which I wouldn't know from personal experience. I've never taken a virginity, a V card, but... Really? I've done the research and it's hard, the first 3 guys that a girl hooks up with, it's hard to shake it,
Let me ask you though, are you still in contact with this guy or does he still try to contact you?
He blocked me.
He blocks you. Okay.
For all you guys that don't live in Western countries, all you guys living in what they call third world countries, if your chick look good, be prepared, man. Like Scar say from Lion King, be prepared. If somebody come and scoop your chick on vacation, she's gonna leave you for that.
What did you do? Why did he block you? Just because? Did you have an argument? What happened? What actually? You don't just block somebody. Blocking is there's usually a reason.
It's a dude that cried though, so keep that in mind.
You're right.
It's okay to cry.
No, don't ever cry in front of women.
Yeah. You cry when
it's bad advice.
And I laugh.
Yeah,
cry?
Exactly. Exactly. That's why you don't cry. That's why you don't cry in front of women.
Damn.
Because they think it's funny.
You can cry.
No.
Yeah, for comical
gold.
So
it ended it ended because I was tired. Like we used to FaceTime and do all that
That boring.
every single day, and it was boring. Like we ended up not having nothing to talk about.
What if he got to America though? What if he like found a way to get here? Would that really impress you?
No, because I'm in another level now.
Man,
at the end of the day, it's a third world country. Most likely he haven't even graduated from university.
That's why you get your passports, guys.
And you don't bring her over here. You stay over there in Nicaragua, and you travel to meet her over there, because once you bring her here, she starts to, she sees all these guys.
If I see him, I have thought about it. Like if I see him,
you'd be like,
I will be like,
it's going backwards.
He's still skinny. Like if he does drugs, he didn't do drugs, but you know, he was skinny like that.
Flaquito, he like crackhead Flaquito?
Yeah, crackhead Flaquito. And I'm in another mindset. I know a second language. I'm looking to learn a third one. So
making your own money.
Yeah.
Damn.
So we in different levels. Even if I try to make it work, it wouldn't work because we have different mindset. We come from a third world country. When I was there, when I was having that mindset,
that was the best you could do then.
Yeah, I was okay. I was in my own bubble of life, and I thought everything was perfect. But then I came here and I saw so many new things, so many different people, so many cultures.
You bit the apple.
It opened my eyes to say, "Wow, there's something out
there.
More
Options.
More experiences,
more options,
more everything here.
Yeah, guys, this concept is a reoccurring theme, and like I tell guys all the time, because I look at guys and I see guys bringing girls places where they don't dominate. That's always tripped me out. It's like, why are you taking a girl on a gym date and you don't have amongst the best bodies in the gym? This isn't the place for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, he's a DJ. If he takes a chick to like a hot spot, like a hot club where he knows everybody, he might jump on real quick and do a set. You know what I'm saying? He's bringing her somewhere where he has the leverage. He has the status.
I can exude some value. Show some value to you.
Girls want to be with the best. And the best depends on the environment. You know what I mean?
A great example of that is that, let's talk about birds, right? The female birds always wants to have the male bird to give him, bugs and stuff. So the female bird is gonna look forward to the male bird that provides the most.
The most beetles.
So she can reproduce with that
worms.
One.
Yeah, he's the best provider.
So, right, the one that provides. That's the culture. That's all nature. However, as human beings, because we have our brains, we think differently. We can change our mind. We go by our emotions. Animals don't go by emotion. They go by instinct.
So I want to ask you, we're switching gears a little bit. Describe we're going to go best and worst. Your best date that someone's ever taken you on.
Best date.
Or you can start with the worst.
Let's start with the worst.
I knew it. See, they always remember Allende says it.
They always start with the worst.
They always remember the worst. All right, what was the worst date you've ever been on?
Worst. It was a fitness guy. And it was horrible because he mistreated the server. Like he
It's
was
another big one.
Okay. Very rude. So that's why I'm the type of person that doesn't go on a date like coffee dates. I don't do coffee dates. I do dinner. Why? Because I get to know the person more. What they order, how they
Depends
treat
on where
the
you
service.
get coffee though. Sorry, but if the coffee place is fancy enough, there is a server. But go ahead.
No, Starbucks, of course.
Well, no. Starbucks. Yeah.
So in a dinner, you get to spend more time than just having coffee. 30 minutes coffee in comparison to 2 hours dinner, So how they treat the service, why they order, how they order.
Do they order for you? Are they supposed to order for you?
No, not really.
Interesting.
What did he do? What did he say to the server? Like, what happened? What was the...
What was just being rude and rude in general.
Okay, so let me comment on that. I think some guys think when they go out, if they're very assertive or trying to like speak to the staff a certain way, I think they think that they're exuding or showing some... Right, exactly. And I think some girls may find that attractive, but in your case, it kind of hurt him. Did your energy change during the date? Did you
No,
did you
at all.
so you just stayed the same?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I know I've been out, you know, with girls, and I don't really talk to servers very rudely, but I've seen other guys treat, like on dates, treat the servers very like rudely, and girls actually like it a little bit.
The way I feel about it is that if he treat any stranger that is serving
Of
him
course, yeah.
rudely, how he's gonna treat me as his
when
woman.
he gets comfortable with you, yeah.
Right.
I mean, for the guys that are taking notes, as you should be at all times, you always have that pen and pad ready every time we come on, guys. Don't cheat yourself, because what's gonna happen is you're gonna forget so much great jewels and gems. But I'll give you one right now. Something I like to do, I've done in the past, especially when I'm doing really good financially, especially when I'm doing things that's bringing me in like actual like cash, like in my hand cash, not somebody's, you know, sending me payments. What I like to do is I like to preemptively tip. So for example, if I go like to movie theaters, or I don't wait on lines, bro. I cut the line. You know, but the way I do that is I'll have like a $5 or $10 bill folded up in the palm of my hand, and I'll go to like the first person in line and say, "Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?" And when
That's
they feel
attractive.
right, when they feel that money in between their hand, they're like, "Oh, okay, yeah," and I step in front. And what it shows is, you know, the woman that like when you're with me, we don't gotta wait. Everything's gonna be more tailored towards our convenience. If we're taking a flight, I don't wait on the fucking line to check my bags and all of that. I don't do that. I find a way to cut the line also. So on dates, when you're dealing with servers, you guys can try this and tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if it works or it doesn't work. It's gonna only cost you $5 to $10 to do it. You know, put a $5 bill in the palm of your hand when you're being seated, and then just go ahead when they seat you and they're giving you the menu. Say, "Okay, man, thank you." And when he shakes your hand, you just say, and what's gonna happen is he's gonna give you the preemptive respect. Because I always thought to myself, what's the point of getting the respect of your tip after you've already eaten and now you're leaving?
Yeah.
Him respecting you now and being appreciative is useless to you because you're walking out the door.
Right.
It's only gonna value if you see that waiter again coming back. So just try that, guys. Try tipping on the way in when you get introduced to your waiter. Tip him in the beginning. You're gonna tip him again at the end, obviously a percentage, but just go ahead and give him a little 5 in the beginning, and I guarantee you he's gonna treat you like you got that big dick energy, and it's gonna translate to her because she doesn't need to know that you tipped him.
Right. I think also, guys, you want to make sure that you don't, just to play it a little bit better, instead of just being rude to the waitresses or waiters or whoever, I think what you do is, if something goes wrong with your food, or they sit you in the wrong place, then you exude a little bit of dominance. I think that would turn a woman on more if they messed up the food or put you in the wrong section or something happened or something's falling. I don't know, whatever's going on, to get the manager, speak to them in front of your woman. She'll be like, "Oh, okay, look, he's, you know, she doesn't like the food, or do you like it?" "No, I don't like it." You know, get the manager. She's gonna appreciate that more. But I think just being rude, I think that's a bad way to start.
Bad atmosphere, like bad vibe in in the dinner. So if you have a dinner with someone, a date, you don't want it to have, you know, bad energy into it.
Well, a woman. All right, so she's 100% correct with that, guys. Women are all about energy. They're all about vibes. So they say, translation, they're all about feelings. So that's why many women would tell you, you know, the first thing I noticed was his smile, his energy. What they're trying to say is that women, they value positivity. I'm gonna tell you why. Because women absorb whatever your energy is. So if you're moody all the time, your girl's gonna be moody.
Yeah.
Right? If you're pleasant, she's more likely to be pleasant. If you're always playing around and being funny, she's going to always be playing around. If you're confident and comfortable, she'll be confident and comfortable. If you're worried, she'll be worried. You get the point. So try to keep that in mind. Be upbeat. It'll make a difference.
Do you have a best date that you can think of, or there hasn't been one that you went on that was
Not
like...
really.
No? Since you've been in Miami, there's been no best date. Okay.
Damn.
No best date.
Okay.
That's odd. So, what do you value more? Your ability to be independent, or a man's work? Like what a man can offer you. Basically, what's more valuable to you? A man that's gonna like wash your car for you, you know, change your oil, fix something in the house, build a cabinet, or is your own independence and being able to do certain things without needing the help of a man? Is that more important to you? Or valuable, I should say. Is that more valuable to you to say, "I did it"?
It's more valuable that he does things for me, even though I'm capable of doing it. because he shows that he cares. He shows that, okay, I don't want her to wash her car on her own. I don't want her to go to a place to wash her car. I prefer to do it for her so she can go home and rest or do whatever she wants to do. It means a lot to me.
Well, I meant like the man doing it itself, not like you having a man and should he do these things. I mean, like, basically, what do you value more? Being able to say, hey, listen, I could take care of myself, I could pay my own stuff, or would you rather just have a man that takes care of all those things? And if you work, it's because optional. Right. So traditional. You got the traditional vibes going. Okay.
Yeah, you're very traditional. Is that something that like your father or your parents instilled into you, or how did you get this mindset? Because you have.
I grew up with 9 women in the house. 9. Okay.
Wow.
So there was no men there for a reason, right?
Wow.
But they always told me, my grandma always told me, you have to find a man that take care of you. So back then, when I was 15, 13, 18, I used to think, why would I want a man to take care of me? I want to be independent. Because the example that I see, the example I see in my family, in my environment, there are women that, their men take care of them, but they're not being treated well. They beat them up, stuff like that.
Yeah, those countries,
so,
I mean.
Right. So because that's what I saw, and those were the advices that they were giving me, the people that were going through those situations was like, no, I don't wanna deal with that. I'd rather be independent, have my own money, he's gonna have his own money, and we're gonna be fine like that. That was my mindset back then. But then I came here and I started seeing different things, and I grew up mentally, physically, my age, everything. And I changed, and I was like, okay, maybe my grandma, my mom were not wrong. I was just having misunderstanding because I put my own limits. So if I see that this man is treating me wrong, I'm just gonna leave him, because either way I'm independent, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But if I just it's up to me. So I can say, okay, I'm gonna stay here because he's giving me everything, but he's beating me up every single day, or he's not letting me go out with my friends, he's not letting me do anything, but I'm gonna stay here because he's paying my rent and he's buying my food.
Yeah, I mean,
it's good to be independent, but to have the men take care of you.
Women do that with everything, though. They do that with everything. It's always an extreme with them. So what happens is a lot of women limit themselves because they're trying to prevent something they're afraid of that there's no guarantee is going to happen. It's just that because they were exposed to it, they're so terrified of it happening, they make all their decisions based on avoiding that. And it's like, a guy's not necessarily going to do that. But another thing is, you didn't necessarily have to come to America to have that change of heart. Because what's happening with a lot of these women in these countries is that the conditions in the Western world are making guys that are like perfect for the women in countries like yours. Because what's happening is, since we're here, we're a lot more like mellow, we're a lot more accepting of a woman's freedoms, a lot more accepting of a woman being able to make her own money and stuff like that, have her friends go out, like post certain pictures. We're not that controlling here, because here we're not even allowed to tell our women what to do. So when we get with the women in countries like yours, everybody's happy, because the guy's like, oh shit, I got a woman that's respectful, I got a woman that's submissive, and she cooperates. And the woman is like, oh my God, I got a guy that's not going to punch me in my face. I got a guy that's not going to slap me around. That's what ends up happening when they date guys from America. They're like, yo, he's chill. And I think it makes a good connection. But what I want to ask you is, what do you think about the mindset that the women have here, if you want to call it a feminist mindset or whatever, or a modern woman mindset or boss babe, whatever you want to call it. But do you think that that's a better mindset to have, or a worse mindset to have than the women in Venezuela, Colombia, Nicaragua, Mexico? What do you think is the better outcome for a woman as far as her perception of her independence or her need for a man?
Women here are very independent. I remember my mom told me, don't marry an American guy because they like to go 50-50, and we're not used to that.
That's not true.
That's not true.
Most American women that want to go 50-50.
Correct. But that's what she told me, right? But then I learned that no, men like to provide.
Exactly.
But we want to be independent. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, I can have my job and take care of my family, but if I have a baby, I would rather stay home and take care of the family than go to work, come back, clean the house, take care of the babies. I would drive myself crazy. It wouldn't work. So there has to be a balance in everything. So
well, what you're describing is you're describing being independent up until you have a baby, and then once you have the baby, you depend on your man. But a lot of women in the Western world think that they should just be raising their kids by themselves. They still don't need a man after they have a kid. We live in a society where women think that they don't need a man at all, no matter what happens,
which is ridiculous.
And so I think since you being from Nicaragua, you have a better perception and perspective, because you know at some point, right? Like, do you really want to have a kid, work at the same time? I mean, do you want to do all this? You're working double time if you have to be the man and be the woman at the same time. So I think that
why would you do that to yourself?
Or somebody else is raising the kid, which is really what's happening. These women are acting like they're doing both. You're not doing both. You're doing a half-assed job at both.
Exactly.
You know, because you're not killing it at work, and then you're not killing it as a mom. So you're really doing both things.
You're not giving you 100%.
Right, that's what I'm trying. You can't.
Right, you can't. There's no way.
Like, the amount of times
you
I've
have
heard
to have
women
another person
say that they're gonna do both of these things 100%. It's like, do you not understand how fractions work?
Right.
You can't do 100% of two different things. It's
impossible.
It's a percentage.
Right.
So either you 40% this, 60% that, or 50 this, 50 that. So they don't realize that when you go out and work, then your parenting is gonna suffer. And if you stay home and parent, then your finances are gonna suffer. You're gonna have to depend on the government welfare handouts or whatever. So this is why God made two parents.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah. Everything in nature, what God have created is perfect.
Tell me about it.
If He wanted us to have babies on our own, it will happen.
Women aren't really
right.
independent.
They're not.
They are.
Yeah, they're still getting.
And then guys aren't independent either. If you're so independent, okay, go start a business by yourself. Go start and run a business by yourself. Knock yourself out. You see what I'm saying? Okay, go ahead and adopt kids and then raise them by yourself. Like, nobody's truly independent.
Yeah.
I think the difference is that when you are exchanging value, you don't have to rely on anybody to give you anything for nothing. Right. That's what it is. And some people misinterpret that as independence. That's not really independence. You still need these other people. The thing is, you're giving them something of equal or greater value, which is why they're participating. So even if the woman was relying on the man, he wouldn't be doing that unless he was getting something from her. And I think that's the disconnect that these women are having, is they're thinking that they're going to do their own thing up until they don't feel like it anymore. And then they're going to let some guy come in and pick up the slack. It's like, well, what do you have to offer him at that point? You don't even have anything to offer him by then, because whatever it is he would have wanted, you went and go through that around and wasted that elsewhere. And then you're like, okay, well, I'm 30 now. So now I don't feel like going to work full time anymore. So, okay, now I'll marry you and you can take care of me.
Right.
It's not whatever you want.
So let me ask you. So what is the biggest flaw in your eyes? Like, what is your biggest flaw? The biggest flaw in the eyes of men, I guess, or would a man?
What do you mean?
Like, what would a man say your biggest flaw would be? So, like, I don't want you to use this example, but like, you're too clingy.
Has a man ever broke up with you? That's the question. Has a guy ever broken up with you?
Is he ever dumped you before?
No.
Oh, it's gonna be hard for her then.
Okay, so you broke up with all your.
Is there ever a guy that you liked and you wanted and you couldn't get the guy?
No.
Oh,
is it okay?
On.
Well, okay. Let me ask it this way then: is there anything that you think that when you're in a relationship with a guy that you do that is bad or flaw, like too clingy? You call him too much. Is there anything that you think you do that is
extra? Like,
like it just like
complains. Don't guy ever complain to you? Never had a boyfriend who's like, ugh, you get on my nerves. I hate when you do this.
I'm not problematic.
So,
really.
Why are you single?
Because I'm enjoy being single.
I really do. Come on.
I really enjoy being single. I travel to Europe on my own. I go to the movies on my own. I go to have dinners on my own. I really enjoy. Yeah, I want to be married. I want to have babies. But I also want to enjoy, like, being single. There's nothing wrong with that. To get to know each other, and if I want to be with someone, it's not because I need that person. Because I'm full the way I am.
We're not even getting there yet. We didn't get there yet. I'm talking about you. There's no guy you want?
Yes.
Okay, so why don't you have the guy?
Because I don't think it's the right moment.
Oh God.
Because I'm happy the way I am.
So what you gonna do? You know the guy you want, but you're just waiting to.
I'm not waiting. I'm just letting things.
What happens if he gets married or he finds another girl? Then what happens? He's gone. Now what do you do?
But that means that it was never for me.
No, that's not what it means. Are you becoming more valuable or less valuable to him as time goes by?
More.
I don't know, bro. It never fails, man. We thought you were on the level till you said that one. So what guy is like, oh man, the older she gets, is the more I want her? What guy?
I mean, in my perception and how men save me, every time, the more we get alone, the more they're starting falling in love with me or loving me and having affection.
Okay, so you want to get married?
Yes.
And by what age do you think you need to be married? And let me be very clear with this question, because I think women don't get the question. By what age do you think your options in husbands is going to start to decrease in value? Because I get it. There's always some sucker that's going to marry you. I get it, women. I get it, women. Women think that they're going to always be desirable. Yeah, you'll always be desirable, but the quality of men that desire you will continue to become lower and lower. So at what point in time do you think it's going to go the other way, and that the guys that are willing to marry you and commit to you are going to become less attractive and valuable?
35.
All right, well, I hate to bust your bubble. That is absolutely wrong, but okay. But okay.
35.
But okay.
I think that you're looking at it from your perspective, but yeah. I think if there's a guy that you really like or you really want, now would be the time. The younger you are, the better the chances are. And also, like, a lot of women are just holding out now. I don't know what they're holding out for.
Well, let me explain it to her like this. You were in Nicaragua and you were cool with the guy because you were 18. And that was like, the best thing in your neighborhood, village, community, whatever you want to call it. You see what I'm saying? But the moment you got here, there was more options. Well, any guy that you're attracted to now, I guarantee you, the older he gets is the more attractive he gets, meaning he's going to have more and better options than you. And those options are not going to be your age. They're going to be younger than you. And you're not going to be able to compete with those options. I'm just being honest with you. There's other girls in Nicaragua that are just now getting over here. And right now, there's a girl that just got to Miami from Nicaragua. She's 18, 19. He can date her for 2 or 3 years before he marries her, and she'd still be younger than you. So if he's an attractive guy, he has both options. Why is he going to Why was he going to pick the girl that's already been in America long enough to start somewhat becoming Americanized? And also, why is he going to pick the one that he has less time of youth with? If a guy marries you now at 26, he only has 4 years with you until you're 30. If he marries a girl that's 22, he has 8 years before she's 30. He has enough time to, like you say, get to know each other, and then put some babies in her. So he has time to, he literally could spend 2 to 3 years getting to know her, 2 to 3 years married to her, and then another 2-3 years putting babies in her before she's even 30.
That's a good point.
We like you when you're young, hot, sexy. That's what we want. Once you get older.
But what about once I get older and I'm married with you? You're gonna leave me for the one that just got here?
No.
It's the same situation.
No, it's not the same situation. No, it's not the same
marriage
situation.
and having baby doesn't mean that we're gonna be together forever. You can leave me for 22 years old.
A lot of women use that extreme to justify their indecisiveness. They try to use that excuse to buy themselves more time and convince themselves that they're not making a mistake by bullshitting and pussyfooting around. That's not how it works. That's like me saying, oh, I might as well wait to start my business because I could start my business and it fail. Wait, what? If that was the case, then you need to have already been married. So now that this marriage is coming to an end, you still have enough time to find another husband. If that's the way you want to look at it, if you want to look at marriage as being that type of risk, that means then you need to get married as early as possible. So if he does fuck around in 2 to 3 years, you can get rid of him and still have time to be valuable to another husband. I'm just saying, because look at it this way. Let's say you try your strategy. You wait till you're 30 and then he does decide to go with a younger girl. Okay, now you're 34, 35 years old. And now what guy are you going to get now? You see what I'm saying? What guy's going to want to marry you now? You've already
60. Like 60-year-old,
yeah,
like 70,
but you're not
about to die. But that can put me in their will.
But you're not going to want the 60 or 70-year-old.
Why not?
You're not. The only thing you could be attracted to is what he's acquired. Well, guess what? They could be a 45-year-old guy that has just as much. He's more successful. Took him less time to get there.
You can't be afraid to take risk. I think a lot of women nowadays, it's all about, well, what if I do this and what if this happens? And you always think of the worst thing that can happen. And also, we're gonna throw out some statistics here, guys. All right, take your notes. We know that most of the time when divorces happen, it's the women that are divorcing the guys. So it's 70 to 80% of women will file for divorce against a guy. So the likelihood of him leaving you is slim. So you keep that in mind. Like,
we're not gonna say he won't cheat with a younger woman. What we're saying is, we're not talking about cheating. Men aren't the ones leaving the women, though. The woman might leave for that reason. Okay, but you're the one that threw your marriage away. Okay, he cheated on you. I get it, but you throwing your marriage away for what? Because this is another thing we see women do a lot. They will make it bad for everyone just to get back at the guy. It's like, so you'll shoot yourself to shoot the guy. That's kind of stupid. You know what I mean?
Right.
And there's many of marriages that are still together because I had to intervene and give that logic. There's many women that came to me like, yo, I'm going to divorce my husband. I'm like, listen, get a calculator out and put your phone on calculator. Okay. I want you to put in how many people are in your household. Oh, well, we have 2 kids. Okay. So it's 4 of you. If you divorce your husband because you're upset right now, because you're emotional, because he cheated on you or whatever, okay, that's 4 people whose lives are going to be ruined. But if you suck it up and take one for the team, that's only one person that's going to be miserable. Just listen to the logic that I'm trying to put here, because I don't know why this misses women. They act like, look, I'm not gonna be miserable. Everybody else has to suffer. I gotta hurt this guy back. It's like, yes, but hurting him does not unhurt you. You get what I'm saying? It's like a gang mentality. But you killed my boy, so now we're gonna kill you. Well, that didn't bring back your boy though. That just got you a murder charge. So now you got to go to prison now for 20, 30 years for killing somebody because you're trying to avenge your boy that was murdered. But it didn't bring your boy back though, is the point. So that's the same mentality women have. Like, I got to break up with him. I have to punish him somehow. I have to destroy his new relationship. I got to keep my kids away from their father. But you're punishing yourself, your kid, and the guy.
But it depends. Not everybody thinks the same. Like, I don't see divorce because of cheating that way, because I want to punish him because he cheated on me with a younger person. I'm divorcing him because he disrespects me.
How does that make it better though?
I'm gonna be free with someone else that will really love me and that really gonna be for me. That? Why not?
2 things just happen.
There's 8 billion people in the world. Why would I be with someone that is cheating on me when there's a lot of people out there?
Because the next guy is prone to cheat also.
And if I know my value as a woman, I know I'm pretty. I know I have a beautiful soul. Why would I stay with this person that is cheating? If he cheated once, he's gonna do it again.
Hold on.
So it's not about trying to hurt you. I'm trying to protect me and my family.
There's a lot of holes in that logic though. Number one, if you could prevent the next guy from cheating on you, then why didn't you prevent the first guy from cheating on you? And also, hold on.
We don't prevent.
Hold on. You didn't just understand what I just said. You're saying that, oh, well, if he cheated on me, I'll leave him and find somebody that won't. Well, if you have the magical superpower to go find a guy that won't cheat on you, why
that's
you do
not what I
time?
say. That's not what I say. I said that I will find someone else that will value me.
That's my point. Then if that's the case, why didn't you do that the first time?
Because he didn't value me at first.
Because there's no way.
He cheated.
Because there's no way for you to control that. That's what I'm trying to say. You're acting as if you can control it next time. If that was the case, why didn't you control it the first time? The next thing is, just because he cheated on you once does not mean he's likely to cheat on you again. In fact, he's probably less likely to cheat on you again than the new guy cheating on you the first time.
And just because he cheated on you does not mean
I was getting there too. And then you make the assumption that he doesn't love you. He cheated on you. That's your logic. If you cheated on him, that would mean you didn't love him. Men and women are not the same. I can tell you because, we're men. Yeah. And I've never cheated on a girl because I didn't love her or didn't like her. I've just learned to not do it anymore because it's not worth the risk because she can't handle it mentally or emotionally. Mm-hmm. So now I have to just not do it at all simply because she doesn't understand the logic. So that's just preventative. But what I'm trying to say is I come to that understanding by having made that mistake before. That doesn't mean I didn't love my girl. So what I'm saying is you're leaving a guy that cheated on you under the pretense that the next guy is somehow going to love you more. Probably not. The guy that cheated on you probably loves you. You just can't grasp that.
You know what I find interesting? I think that women, I hate to say this, but women are very inconsiderate. Modern day women, you guys don't really care about what we think. If I told my girlfriend, even though if she caught me cheating, I said, I still love you. She'd be like, yeah, you don't love me. Like,
Exactly.
basically, you could tell a woman something. You'll say, like, I did this today and I made pizza earlier and then I went to, to the store, and they'll go, no, you didn't. So what I find, it's the truth. You guys are so mean. I'm just gotta say it. You're mean and you're inconsiderate. And a man will literally say, I did this, this, and this, and you're like, that's not what you did. So it's very interesting. Look,
Because
I'm not
often.
no, listen. I'm not saying that you should like being cheated on. I'm not saying you're going to get cheated on. What we're saying is, if you have a family of 3 kids, you should highly consider staying with your man. That's probably the better option in some cases. And listen, hold on.
It's always a better option if he's not hitting on you.
Listen. Here's how you're really getting cheated on, right? If he's giving that bitch more time, more effort,
money,
more attention, more money, and more sex than you. So you're in first place. We're running a race, and this bitch is third place. You're first place. But you're mad because on Sundays he doesn't come home sometimes, and he's at the strip club. Do you really want to divorce your husband because you got 3 kids, you're 5 years in your marriage? I mean, you got to weigh out. But listen,
because I have a long way to go. Why would I be wasting
but
my time with someone?
Hold on.
Children with him. That's not wasting time. You're raising children.
Right.
Yeah, I
and
don't want to raise my children with someone that is cheating and is
but they're not cheating on. He's not cheating on his children though.
But I'm not gonna tell him don't take.
Okay, take it out of yourself.
I think we should give up on this one.
Hold on.
Women aren't just gonna get it, man. They're just gonna destroy their family over something like.
But
what about
guys destroyed the family?
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't.
What about the kids?
Yes,
what about the
but
kids?
It doesn't matter. Like, you can go every weekend, every week, whenever you want to see them, you can see them. We're not gonna have a family.
No, that's not how it works. How it works is that fathers need to be in the same house with their children. They need full access.
Then if you guys know and have a brain and can understand the fact that, okay, you marry, you shouldn't be looking at another woman or cheating, because that will destroy your family or your woman trust, which is the most important thing in a relationship, in a marriage. If you don't trust your husband, then nothing will work.
No, baby, you know what the trust is? He pays the bills on time. He protects the family. He keeps a roof over their head. He disciplines the children. He makes good decisions that benefit the entire family.
Yes,
that's what you need to trust him to do. That was a long list of things, and you're
he can keep doing that while we're getting divorced.
Hold on, and you just focused in on the thing that affects the family the least.
Here's the scale.
Cheating on and I want you to understand this. I'm not advocating for cheating. I just told you I don't do it.
Yeah,
we're not. It's not worth the risk.
We're not. I don't cheat either.
What I'm advocating for is logic. I'm advocating for math. If there's 10 things that this guy is doing for this family, cheating has nothing to do with his family. Cheating only has to do with your feelings. Because the only way cheating affects let me finish. The only way that cheating affects the family is if the woman goes out of her way to make the children savvy of it. That's, first of all, that's grown folks' business. The children shouldn't even know that happened. That's number one. Number two, as long as he doesn't have children outside and he doesn't have to introduce his children to their brother or sister from another mother at some point in time, then it's also not an issue right there. And then the next thing is, if there's no resources going out of his house, going into another house to take care of another woman. And that's even tricky, because if he's making enough money that he can take care of his family and have a little side piece. So that's the thing, is that it's not destructive to the family. It just hurts your feelings. That's it. It just simply hurts your feelings.
There's cultures that does that. Muslim people, they
called
do
humans.
That.
They're called humans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the fact that you say that because you cheated, and then I want to end the marriage because of that, it will be my fault to because I'm destroying the family. Yes,
because you don't know how to handle your emotions.
Yeah. He doesn't want to end the marriage.
That's like somebody insulting me or someone upsetting me.
So that
hold on. That's like someone upsetting me, and then I get violent and I beat that person up, and I committed a crime. Now I got to go to jail. The people that I work with, they're all, my business is all fucked up now because I'm gone. People are counting on me. I'm not there for my family now. I just fucked it up for everybody because I lost my cool. It doesn't matter if what the person did was wrong or not. Does my response make the situation better or worse? So if a woman got cheated on, yeah, she's upset, she's hurt, she's whatever, but she's a fucking adult. You have to learn how to deal with your feelings. So what you need to do is you need to work through that. You need to communicate with the husband. He's already going to be apologetic. He's already going to be guilty. He's already going to be in the doghouse or whatever. And you got to work it out. Marriage counseling, work it out with your in-laws, work it out with amongst yourself. You don't go to the court and let a stranger decide how your assets are divvied up and how many hours he gets to see his children. This is ridiculous. So women have to get over that bullshit. Because I'm telling you right now, women are only doing that because they can. Because if it was like things used to be, when a woman was 100% depending on the man for money, that's a whole nother conversation. No, it's not the same. And if you want to say that it's the same, then how come the woman doesn't go make the money and pay the bills? If you want to sit here and keep playing it's the same, it's not the damn same. Because when a woman makes more money,
but you
and a woman is
comparison to different things. Money financially, the man is supposed to provide.
Exactly, and the woman is supposed to keep that pussy locked up.
But cheating is not the same thing as providing.
I don't think you understand what I'm trying to say. I'm not comparing cheating and providing. I'm comparing men and women. Mm-hmm. What I'm trying to say is men and women aren't the same. So the same way the man is expected to provide is the same way the woman is expected not to have sex with anyone else but her husband. Why? Because it ensures the fraternity of her children. Mm-hmm. That's number one. We know those are his children because nobody else has had sex with her. Mm-hmm. The next thing is he's providing for her. He's feeding her. He's taking care of her children. So if he goes out and cheats on her, again, it's just feelings. If a woman cheats on a man, it's not just feelings. It's a hell of a lot more than feelings. I'm paying for you. So the car that I pay for is the car you drove to go meet this other guy? The phone that I pay for is the phone that you're communicating on him with? The money that I spend on pads and tampons and whatnot is the same pussy that you're giving him? Are you crazy? And then if you get pregnant, we don't know what's going on. We don't know whose kid it is. That's destructive.
Look at it like this way. Let's say if you're working for a company, I'm the boss, you're the employee. So you're going to my competition. You're giving them You're giving them the drop on how many sales we make a day. You're calling out of work, right? It's like I can go on vacation, and I'm not saying you should be cheated on. Again, we're not advocating for men to just cheat, okay? But what I'm saying is, if the boss says, you know what, I'm gonna take a 1-month vacation, I'm gonna go to France. Y'all got this. You got it. You got whatever. The employee or the assistant is gonna take care of it. If the assistant starts fucking around, going in other jobs and doing other stuff, it's far worse. So men and women aren't the same. The way women cheat is the same. And the reasons why men and women cheat are totally different. If you cheat on me, you probably like that guy. Or he has an in on you, meaning...
Well, there's a problem.
It's a problem. Yeah, it's a big problem.
Something's wrong if the woman cheats.
Right. We cheat, and if we cheat, we're gonna stay with you. Yeah. You guys cheat, and it's 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Yeah. Meaning, and maybe you're not thinking you're gonna go with that guy, but like I said, once that guy's in the bed with you and he's doing his thing to you, you're in a trance. He can start talking stuff. It's speaking stuff into you. Hey, tell him you're gonna do your girlfriend's hair. And you're just going to be gone, and you may have to stay for like 7 hours because it's a long braids you're making, right? He can just start. He knows when I'm at work, right? Exactly. He's a man, so I understand
the point.
He's got the drop.
You guys cheat because it's the moment, whatever. There's no feelings involved.
Thank you.
When we cheat, it's because you are not giving me what I want in a man.
Exactly. Sex means something to you.
I understand that, but that doesn't mean that you cheating is justified and mine is
Nobody
not.
Used the
We're
word
not justifying it.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. At no point in time did we try to say that it was right. Nobody said it was justified. I'll give you the equivalent of what it is. You're just not gonna agree or like it. The equivalent of a guy cheating, just having sex with another woman, is the same as a woman accepting something from another guy. If you're over here saying thank you for a compliment on Instagram, that's literally the equivalent of me letting the girl suck my dick. Because she's sucking my dick because she's trying to say that I'm superior, that she wishes she could have me. And if a guy's over here giving you gifts or giving you compliments or paying for something for you, if your coworker is over here buying your coffee and shit and you're not his girl,
right?
You're not his girl and you're not his assistant. Why is he buying you coffee? Okay, well, why does a woman say fuck this and divorce the guy and leave the guy? For the exact same reason. Your feelings was hurt, your ego was hurt, and your pride was hurt. And you're not making the situation better. You're just making it worse for everybody.
Right.
Same shit.
And the last point I'll make is that there are a lot of women who think, like, even me, I've gotten women's numbers, Instagrams. Oh, I have a boyfriend, but you can have my number. She doesn't even think in her mind that's cheating.
Yep.
I'll post this bikini picture on Instagram. A bunch of guys are going to be in my DMs. Well, I didn't cheat because I didn't have sex with him. So there are a lot of you guys have way more ways to cheat.
Because I was talking to a girl just recently on Instagram, and then I was like, oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to ask, are you even single? And she was like, why does that matter? And I was like, this is how far gone we are as a society. I was like, why does that matter? I said, because I don't want to be in some other dude's woman's DM. And she was like, the way you said that is that like a man has ownership over a woman. I'm like, Jesus Christ, exaggerate much? So then what do I say? Not his woman, the woman that he is with. Like, how do I have to phrase it? We know what that means. But the funny thing is, if the tables was turned, she wouldn't look at it the same way if a woman is saying my man. If a woman is saying my man, there's no ownership there. There's no ownership connotation there. But if a guy says my woman, oh, you don't own her. Knock it the fuck off, man. This is what they're teaching women. It doesn't make any sense. And then she didn't understand the fact that I'm not comfortable DMing somebody else's girl. And then I was like, well, that's inappropriate. She was like, what's inappropriate about that? I don't like the way you view relationships. When you're in a relationship that somebody doesn't own you, I'm free to talk to other people and make other friends. And I'm like, all right, chick, you know what? I don't even want my dick in your mouth.
You can have a conversation. You can chat with people as long as it's not about sex.
No, it's inappropriate because knock it off. We know guys are not over here talking girls up because they're just polite. They're not talking girls up because they just want to be friends. When I saw you in Starbucks, I wasn't talking to you because I wanted to make friends. If that's the case, why wasn't I talking to any of the guys in Starbucks? Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Why wasn't I talking to the ugly chick? What is the most interesting place that you've ever had sex or made love or however you say it? Oh God.
In a balcony. That's it. Like I kind of virgin. I haven't do much things in my life. Half virgin, I will say.
So okay, so you were on a balcony. Was there anything?
We had sex in a balcony.
Okay, but was it like at a high rise? Was it like was there an ocean view? Was there anything about this sexual experience that made it interesting or crazy, or it was just on a balcony?
It was crazy because it was in the balcony.
Okay.
Yeah.
What? I guess that's a good thing. I mean, it's because we've heard some wild stuff. So when you hear the ones that aren't as crazy, that's not actually bad because it's like, okay, then she hasn't been like
haven't done
around
stuff.
I mean, a lot of stuff is interesting to women just simply because it's the first time. That's the thing that's tricky about women. And this is advice that I've given before. Keep those pens moving, guys.
Take notes.
You got to probe women to try to figure out what's the thing you can do that hasn't been done. What's the place you can take them? They haven't been taken. What's the compliment you can give them? They haven't been given. You always like, what's the conversation you can have with her? She's never had with a man before. You always got to try to be the first. If you can't be the first to take a virginity, you got to be the first to do something else, because after you do it, it's not going to have value anymore. That's just how women are.
All right, so next question is, what's the one thing that you most wanted from a man but never received?
To be committed.
Committed like marriage? What do you mean committed like? Because you had your boyfriend. What do you mean by committed?
He cried. I mean,
like, because for example, with my ex-boyfriend, he wasn't fully committed.
Oh, you mean recently though, like here in America, in the States?
Yeah.
Well,
like
a lot of options here too.
because I wasn't the one for him, but because he was working on his career, so he wasn't fully committed to me.
Yeah, but that has to come first.
Right.
He wasn't wrong for that, because if you don't secure that, if you don't establish yourself first, you're always gonna struggle to keep the woman.
We didn't know that. Like, we got together because we like each other, and things just came up the way they were, but we both knew that we weren't ready to be in a relationship, to be committed, to get married, because he was building his career.
Why didn't you wait it out then?
Because I rather let him do his things. And
yeah, but what happens? Because I see this type of shit all the time.
I don't need to hold myself with this person just because this person is doing his things. I will move on with my life, because again, there's a bunch of people out there that would love to marry me.
Right. Okay. Hold on. Let me tell you where that logic fails more than not. Majority of the time, that logic fails, and I'm old enough to have seen it fail over and over again. I've been listening to women say things like this for over 2 decades, and I'm old enough to see how it plays out. A lot of these things sound good in the moment, but it doesn't sound good 4 years later when you saw where that plan got you. So when the women do that silly shit you're talking about right there, this is what happens. They break up with the guy because they're not getting what they want right now. He's the guy, but because he's not giving them what they want right this moment, this level of commitment, they leave the guy thinking they're going to find some other guy like you said. Oh no, I'm not going to wait on you. I'm going to go find what I find, right? 3 years go by, 4 years go by, she's fucking on Tinder. She's still single. We know she's single because she's on Tinder. And where's the same guy that she left? Uber fucking successful and now dating a new chick that he is in commitment with. He's dating a new chick and they live together.
That was her age. That was her age when she didn't.
They got a dog together, and then you're looking there looking stupid because if you stayed with him for that 3 years, that would be you with the Pomeranian. That would be you with the Shiba or the Frenchie walking the dog with your man that you live with. That's making great money now. Right? And he would be loyal and committed to you and wanting to share all of this accomplishment with you because you were with him throughout the process. So he knows you would be there because you were there.
No.
But you accomplished nothing in the 3 years that you've been single. Nothing in the 3 years that you've left him except for increase your body count. All you've done is try other guys, and they not only didn't give you that level of commitment, they didn't even stay with you that long. They slept with you for a couple of months and then they moved on. So you did about 3 or 4 guys like that. And then you look at the same guy that you left, and this motherfucker's successful now and committed to a woman.
But you know what? Now, I know that he's successful. He's succeeding. I think
already.
I think he's single. I don't know, but it's
Point
okay.
proven.
But let me finish. It's okay. I'm very happy the way I am. At the end of the day, when I got with him, I knew that he wasn't the one. But he wasn't ready, to not really to get married because that's not what I was looking for, but to be there.
You said commitment, though.
Yeah, but commitment it is not necessarily marriage.
So you wanted him to focus on you. You wanted to be his priority.
Right, but
how?
His priority was his business, which is completely understandable because he was almost my age. So it's understandable. So I was like, okay, because we're adults, I'm just gonna let him do his thing, focus on his things, because the reality is that men cannot focus on multiple things.
You just try to make it sound like you weren't selfish, but yet what you did was the most selfish thing.
No,
all you needed to do was just support him and allow him to focus.
But Ayinde, I think this is where it comes into when we were talking about in the last class that we had, was that when they're closer in age, they just can't see the vision. She should be dating a guy. You should be dating a guy like in his how you said, how old are you again? 26. So yeah, I mean at that time you should have been with a guy like 32, 34. He's got his business. He's already built up. Everything's already running in place. You didn't want to wait. Exactly.
It's not about waiting. It's about letting him be with his whole time.
But he's just starting. That's what I'm thinking.
What you did was better.
That's why. So now he has all this time in the world to do whatever he wants, and then he will find a 20 years old girl to take care of. It's fine. I won't be jealous. I won't be, oh my God, I will be there. I'm not the type of person. I'm not the type of person of saying, that will be me.
It's not about that though. It's about you didn't win anything. You didn't achieve anything. You didn't.
What guaranteed me that
nothing was better for you?
What guaranteed me that the man that I wait for to be successful won't leave me while he becomes successful?
It's unbelievable that she's not getting. I just told you how to ensure he wouldn't. Being there for him in the in-between time. Now, if he was to deal with you again now, he would have. Hold on, this is what I'm trying to say. If you were to decide you wanted to go back and deal with him, and he was like, all right, and he actually was to entertain dating you again, he would never feel any real loyalty to you. He would think to himself, yeah, she left.
Yeah, when I was trying to like...
He wouldn't be a big deal to him. He'd be like, I can't count on her to stay around. She left. See, this is the thing you gotta understand. The woman that's gonna be with a guy that he's at his lowest, that's at his worst, that's the woman that he's gonna be confident to share everything he earns with. He won't never have to question it. And I tell you guys, if you guys want to be smart, for you guys that are successful and you do got all your shit, when you meet a woman, pretend. I tell guys that all the time. Pretend to have lost it all. Okay, pretend to have lost it all. Say, baby, the company just crashed. It's nothing on the Dow Jones now. I lost everything. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Get some Visine and fake cry if you need to, and see how she responds. If she decides that she's gonna leave, now you know. Whew, I dodged the bullet. If she's like, listen, baby, this is fucked up, but I'm gonna be with you no matter what. We'll figure it out. If you've done it once, you can do it again. I believe in you. Oh, that's the one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But you know what? A lot of marriages end because of cheating, and they cheating with a younger person, with someone that they didn't see them struggling. Because let's say that I marry you and you broke, you don't even have money to pay the rent, so I have to cover the rent and all that. So I saw you in your lowest.
No.
Your ego is gonna be hurt.
No.
Right?
No.
Wait. It's gonna
Hold
be
on.
hurt.
What she's saying is true though.
Your ego is gonna be hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So you say, oh my god, this girl saw me struggling, like
Yep.
how embarrassing is that?
Mm-hmm.
So once I become successful,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna move on with the girl that never saw me go through that.
I don't know about
No. Wait a second. Let me.
You were going on the right street for a minute because when guys
hold on.
in that situation, sometimes they will sleep with another girl just to.
Yeah, but you made
Yeah, but they're not gonna leave the girl that was with them.
But listen, you made one mistake in what you said.
They never leave something that they've been getting used to.
No, you said that he's going to leave you for her. No, he's not.
Yeah.
You're going to leave him.
Right.
I want to be very clear, guys. Listen. He's not going to leave you for the 20-year-old in most cases. What's going to happen is you're going to find out your ego or your whatever is going to be hurt, like we were talking before when we were talking about cheating, and you're going to divorce him.
And then he's going to go be with the 20-year-old.
Then he might get with her afterwards.
He has to convince himself that it was worth losing his
guys
woman.
want their cake, their dulces, and they want to eat it too. They want to have the girl. They want to have the wife that I was with when I was coming up, and maybe I'll have this little side chick. But like, he's not going to divorce you, especially if you did put in the work with him. You were there. He's not going nowhere. Trust me. He's not going to leave you.
That's all I'm saying. I don't really care about the right and the wrong. I'm looking at results. And the choices they're making is not getting them better results. Yeah. So what qualifies a woman, to be a good girlfriend or a wife? And I'm not talking about the basics. I'm talking about what makes her a good girlfriend, what makes her a good wife.
Loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
To take care of the house.
Okay.
And to be feminine.
Okay, but I feel like everything in there is pretty much a given. So, what if we threw some forgiveness in there? Because I get it, loyalty is rare nowadays with women, which is sad. Taking care of the home, maybe that's rare with modern women, which doesn't make sense to me. Because if they lived alone, they take care of the home. I'm so confused how that's something you're doing for your man, but if you lived alone, you have to take care of your house anyway. But whatever. But what do you think about throwing a little bit of forgiveness in there? Because I think that's like the modern woman's kryptonite. Why can't we throw some forgiveness in there? You don't think that's a very valuable trait to have in a woman, where she's not going to throw everything away? Because you act like this guy didn't invest. That's the funny thing. It's like the chick he cheated with, he didn't invest anything. It was just sex. It was quick. It was casual. It was easy. There was no investment. There's no commitment. There's no responsibility there.
So what guaranteed me
but everything that you put into the woman,
again.
Just listen what I'm trying to say.
So how I'm gonna forgive?
Hold on. What you should be looking at is the investment that this man has made into you. Stop worrying about the other chick. The investment that he made into you is not something that he's going to walk away from. Right. So you should be looking at it as, yeah, you fucked my man, but my man ain't gonna pay your bills. My man ain't gonna commit to you. My man ain't gonna leave me for you.
What did I say earlier? Time, effort, attention, money.
Right. That's what we value.
Yeah.
We don't value some nut. You know why? Because my body's gonna make some more anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
If I'm horny and I'm trying to hook up with a girl and she doesn't come over and she just leaves me on red, I'm like, damn, girl, this girl ain't trying to give me no butt, right? Or she does come over and then she doesn't want to have sex. Once I fall asleep, it doesn't matter anymore. Once I fall asleep, I wake up the next day and it's like there's no regret, because it's like it wouldn't make me no difference at this point anyway. If I did have sex with her and I woke up the next day, that sex is over with. And if I didn't, the night passed.
It's over for you because you're a man. You're more physical.
But that's my
more
point.
Sentimental.
I understand, but that's my point. You're putting more value into it.
So let's say that it's over for you. Next morning it's over, but she can keep texting you and say, "Hey,
so
baby,
what?
I
Have you
miss
ever heard of
you."
block? You ever heard of block? Block the number?
She blocked her boyfriend.
If you like
Why would I block her? I'd be like, yo, I got a girlfriend. You lost your fucking mind.
What should every man provide to his woman that would be like mandatory? Like, what should every guy? A home. Okay. Why is that like the first thing that came to your head? Is it just like he should buy the house and they should have a family? What do you mean by a home? Safe place.
Buy the house so we can make it a home for a man.
I like you. You have good answers. That I know you came from a very good background. That's good. Nicaraguan woman. I'm gonna marry a Nicaraguan woman.
Yeah, but don't waste it. You wasted it. Don't waste it.
Yeah.
Then you have to find a sexy old man to make it all right.
A 60-year-old.
Yeah.
A 60-year-old.
Not 60. Just like because a lot of
70 about to die.
She was talking about 60-year-olds earlier.
It's okay.
No, that's not
like,
what happens.
You think I'm not gonna be happy marrying a 70-year-old guy when I'm 30 something?
That's not what happens.
He's gonna put me in his will and he's gonna die soon.
Let me tell you what
So
happens.
I'm gonna be enjoying myself very young because 30 something is still young.
Let me tell you what happens, right? Okay, because these women just can't. They can't stop letting imagery. You know.
Have you ever watched Sex and the City?
That's a terrible example.
Let me finish. That's exactly where I'm going. That's exactly the example I was about to start with. The problem with women is they can't separate fiction from reality. They keep on focusing on these extremes and these fucking fairy tales. When they're little kids, they focus on these Disney fairy tales. Then they get a little bit older and they get into high school and they start reading these romance novels and all this other dumb shit and watching these soap operas. Again, more fucking fiction. Then they get a little bit older and they start watching the Sex in the City, where these women sit here and bounce around from dick to dick for 30 years, and then somehow in their 40s they get valuable guys. Somehow in their 40s they marry Mr. Biggs. Stop. That's the same thing as Cinderella. It's a fucking fantasy. It doesn't happen in real life. A real life Mr. Biggs is gonna marry a 26, 27-year-old. Yeah, he's 50.
He did.
Yeah, he's 50, but he's gonna marry a 26, 27-year-old, not old ass Carrie that looks like a witch that just like valet parked her broom.
You're horrible.
Hold on.
You tell me so much hate.
Hold on. It's not hate. It's hate.
Yes.
No. You know what the hate is for? Lies and deception, because it's ruining women's lives. These silly little lies are ruining women's lives. Just like any dude that's 16, 17 and thinks he's gonna be a dope boy, and somehow he's gonna go from being a dope boy to being a rapper. It's a fairy tale.
Selling you guys a dream.
You're not gonna go from being a dope boy to being a platinum selling artist. I don't care if 1% of the population did it. You're not gonna be in that 1%. And if you're gonna go to the NBA or the NFL, we'll know by the time you're 6 years old. We'll know by the time you're 6 years old if you got what it takes to make it to the NBA or the NFL, right? Because that's how young you would have to start on that dream. And it's already only 6% of the population can make it. So unless you're Samoan, if you're from Samoa, that's different. Because damn near half the NFL coming out of there. But anyhow, the point I'm trying to make is they keep giving women these fictional images, these 50 Shades of Grey, and all these other fictional things, and then in the real world, where do they get the exceptional example from? Instagram. So they're going to tell you about the one girl they know that at 33 married a 40-year-old guy that's a banker and he makes a whole bunch of money and whatever. Okay, that's one chick you could think of that did that. Most of the women in their 30s are single, alone, miserable, wondering why guys keep smashing them off of Tinder and then ghosting them. I mean, the one more thing I guess I would ask you is, in regards to the man that you actually want, let's say hypothetically, you met a guy and you knew you liked him in every way, personality, character, looks, he could provide, he was successful, he didn't work too many hours, he had time for you, I mean everything, right? Somehow you got lucky and there he is, the perfect guy actually exists, unicorn with no horn on his head. Would you compete for this guy? Compete. Would you work for him? Would you say, listen, I gotta get this guy no matter what it takes?
Yeah.
Willing to do anything. Huh? And then maybe it can happen. It's possible.
Yeah, that's
this
good.
Day and age.
That's good because most women have told us no. If he doesn't come up to me, or if he just, I'm not competing.
I mean, I'm not gonna text him. I'm not gonna call him. I'm not gonna go, hey, baby. No, because I think that.
So how would you compete? What would you do?
Just.
Because now you're falling back on what the other girls are saying.
There's different ways of competing. I can be smart about it. And just get close to you, and you will get to know me.
Okay.
And based on that, you will say, hey, I like how this girl thinks, so let me just invite her out.
Yeah, but it's not going to be just that. I mean, it's adorable that women think that like their personality is going to be like this, that's just something about them in the being is going to win some guy over. So we got to get over that. Women in the being can attract a guy. You being a human being can attract a guy. Okay? But it doesn't get or secure a guy's commitment. Not a valuable dude, not a dude with options. And I don't even got to say valuable dude. That doesn't keep a guy with options. Because it's like, yeah, you have a great personality. Well, I met another girl that has a great personality. Now what? At the end of the day, it's going to come down.
It's different.
At the end of the day, it's going to come down to an actual exchange of value. What is she actually giving me and bringing into my life? And women think like sex is giving a guy something. Again, that's only the guys who don't have options. Only a guy who can't get sex is going to value sex because it's something that's scarce to him. He can't get it. So the girl that's going to give it to him, especially consistently, he's willing to commit to that guy. He's willing to commit to that girl.
You think so? You think
I
that the
don't
girl
think so.
that gives sex to...
I know so. See, a lot of women will sit here, especially like say on dating apps, they'll ask this fucking ridiculous question. So what are you looking for? Okay, first of all, chick, calm the fuck down. Just because you've already been, used up and guys have had their way with you sexually, stop trying to pressure me to give you the commitment you didn't get from all these other guys. First and foremost, chill the fuck out. We haven't even met. You're already, what do you want? What are you looking for? Slow down, all right? Now, this is the thing. These women really think that there is a difference between a guy who presents himself like he wants commitment to a woman he just met and a guy that says, listen, I'm not looking for a long-term relationship. I'm not looking for anything serious. I just want to have a good time. She really thinks there's a difference in those two guys. The difference in those two guys is their level of options. That's it. The guy that has sexual options and he can meet new women and have sex with them, he is not going to commit himself to anything right out the gate. He's not going to tell you I'm looking for commitment because he's just simply looking for sex and a good time. Now, the guy who does not have those sexual options, he's going to present himself as a guy that wants commitment because that's the only way that he can get access to sex, is the girl being his actual girlfriend. So there is no difference there. But women are setting themselves up to be lied to. There's so many questions that women ask simply to give the guy an opportunity to tell them what they want to hear. Okay, well, good luck with that. Because like I could tell you that, and then after he sleeps with you a couple times, be like, yo, I'm out. Change my mind.
Let me ask you, what do you think if a guy that has sex options but has one chick that I like her, I like the sex with her, I like the connection with her, do you think he will settle with that girl? Even though he has options? Right,
that's the point I was trying to get to, is that at the end of the day, it's going to come to what value are you giving me? What value are you bringing to my life? Women make this so complicated. People do not leave things that they want or need. They don't. If someone's providing something that you need, you can't just leave them or cut them off or go without. So women keep on acting like a guy's supposed to commit to nothing. They keep on saying, why won't this guy commit? It's obvious why someone won't commit. Because they don't see any benefit in being with you. If you decide you don't want to deal with them no more, they don't feel like they lost anything. So if a woman comes and gives a guy an ultimatum, listen, if you don't commit to me, then I'm going to leave. And the guy's like, all right. What does that tell you? That means he's not losing anything. He can afford to lose you. It's not a big deal. But if he's in love with you and you're bringing value to his life, he's going to be like, well, shit, who's going to get my dry cleaning now? Who's going to cook my food just the way I like it now? You know what I'm saying? Who's going to have that really cool relationship with my mom now? You see what I'm trying to say? Who's going to encourage me and inspire me and support me? Who's going to do all these things if she leaves? But a woman that thinks, oh, well, my personality's enough. My looks are enough. Come on, man.
Stay out of the
personalities and looks everywhere.
Yeah, you got to get out of the scarcity mindset.
Right. There's got to be something physical.
I still think you're still asking about cheating again, though. I still think she's
still
like
getting back to that.
Yeah, what he's saying is right. Like, what kind of value are you bringing to the guy? Are you, what kind of business? Like I said, there's a bunch of stuff you could do to set yourself apart from the other women. I think again, sex or if he's banging some other girl is not like your priority should be, especially if it's the guy you want. I'm gonna beat these other bitches out and I'm gonna be in first place. That should be what your number one thing is. All right, so we're gonna wrap up here, I guess. Do you have any questions for us? You just asked a question for Ayinde, but do you have any other questions that you want us to answer for you before we end the class? Because we always want to, bring it back to the female to see if she has any questions. Anything.
Okay, it's gonna be the same question for both of you.
Okay.
Do you think you guys value a woman more if you had sex with her the first date than waiting a couple of dates?
So do I think she would be more valuable to me if we've waited instead of having sex on the first date? Me personally, I personally like it. I don't like to. I mean, I do. I've had sex on the first date, but I think that a woman who I like to do at least 2 or 3 days before I have sex. Personally, I'll try to have sex with her on the first date, but I'm gonna be honest with you. If I have sex with you on the first date, I'm gonna automatically be thinking in my head, how many times is she letting guys one night stand with her or meet her on the first time. I'm not saying it wouldn't work out. I'm not saying I'm going to completely disqualify her, but what I'm saying is in the back of my mind, I am going to think that. And yeah, so to answer your question, a woman who lets me have sex with her on the first date, to me, would be less valuable than a woman I had sex with on the third date. But that does not mean that I'm not going to take her serious or that it couldn't be anything more. I'm not going to completely disqualify her. That's the way I look at it. But if I were pairing the two up, I was on 3 dates that week or 2 dates that week, and one girl let me have sex with her first date, and the one I waited 3 dates, I would in my eyes, the 3-date girl would be more respectable and have more points in my eyes. I don't know what Ayinde thinks.
I don't know. I think that's so loaded because I feel like there's so many variables involved, man. You can't really put your finger on that. There's a ton of variables. I mean, it depends on the circumstances that I meet the girl, that I know the girl. It depends on her her attraction level for me. You know what I mean? Because I mean, if a girl meets a guy and she really likes this guy and she hasn't met guys that she feels that way about, it's not like she necessarily is gonna sleep with every guy that she's dated. It's just this particular guy she feels a certain way. So for me, the turnoff for me is not in what time frame the sex takes place. The time frame being manipulated, that's what I don't like. I don't like when girls play like stupid little games like, oh, well, I'm going to make him wait. The moment I feel like you're playing some stupid game like that, like I'm going to make him wait till he values me. It's like, that's not what's going to happen. I'm going to feel like you're trying to fucking play me, and now I'm going to lose all, you see what I'm saying, interest in you completely. I mean, it just happened to me recently. I went out with a girl and everything was fine, and I wasn't expecting to hook up with her that night, and when we parted ways and, get out the car or whatever, I gave her a kiss and we made out and everything was fine or whatever. And then the next day I spoke to her and everything was fine. And then like a day or two after, I was texting her, and then it got to the topic of like something sexual. And then she had the nerve to fucking say to me, oh, why is it sexual? And I was like, wait, what? She's like, oh, we're not there yet. I was like, okay. I was like, fine, that's fine. And she was like, oh, no, I'm just saying, it's like, I understand. No, because I said to her, I said, you asked me a question, I answered your question. Because she asked me, what were you thinking? And I was like, I was thinking to myself, if your lips below taste as delicious as your lips above, oh, why does it have to be sexual? And I was like, you asked me a fucking question and I answered you. You asked me, what was I thinking before I went to bed? That's what I was thinking. I was being honest. Right. If I'm making out with a woman, that's what I'm thinking, right? Like, what do you thought? I was going to be making out with you and not get aroused?
Right.
Jesus Christ. And then the kissing was her idea. That's the funny part. So she's like, oh, like acting all offended. Like, how dare you get sexual with me? We just met. Like, knock it the fuck off. If we're in that situation, we have this kind of type of chemistry, I'm going to talk about the situation. It wasn't like I was a goofball just randomly bringing up sex, which a lot of you guys do. A lot of you guys just randomly bring it up like, oh, this is how you flirt. No, that's not how you flirt. That's not how you flirt. Somebody has to throw the ball for you to catch it. You can't catch a ball nobody threw to you, guy. So you have to get on the topic organically, right? So I just said to her, you asked the question, I answered the question. That's why it was sexual, because what I was thinking was sexual. And she said, okay, well, I'm just telling you, can you please not make sexual comments to me like that? That's all I'm saying. And I was like, okay. I just gave her the thumbs up emoji. She doesn't realize it's over.
Not the thumbs up.
No, she doesn't realize it's over. Right. So if she asks to hang out at another time and it's like convenient or something, I'll hang out with her. But I'll never frame it like that again. So that whenever she feels like we're there, I'm not going to be there with you. Because you killed the mojo, you killed the fucking energy. And she's 25. So what you thought? You thought I was going to degress and devolve down to a 25-year-old dude to try to be on your level? No, you either meet me where I'm at as a grown-ass man, or we could just be cool and all. So that's what's going to happen now. And I'm not mad at her because she's 25. She's acting 25. Mm-hmm. The thing is that little silly, goofy shit that you just did, it killed the vibe for me. Right. And because I'm not thirsty for sex, I don't need to put back the vibe. The energy that it would take for me to think or feel that way or look at her like that again, it takes me less energy to feel like that for a girl that I haven't even met yet. It takes me less energy to jump in some girl's DM. Right. And if I could jump in some new girl's DM and hold that sexual vibe with her, why am I going to pussyfoot around with a chick that I've already went on a date with? Just say it.
Yeah. All right, guys. Class is dismissed. Get your wife from Nicaragua. She'll be so much.
There's so many
more
options, guys. There's so many countries out there. Good Lord. There's more countries that aren't considered Western than there are Western.
Yeah.
So look at it that way.
What have we learned today, guys? All right. Definitely go outside the country. Get your passport.
Don't bring them here.
Don't bring them here.
And they will leave you if you're one of those dudes stuck in those low income countries.
There you go.
Yep.
All right, guys. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Peace.
Thank you for watching the first case study class of the Mentuition Academy. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so that you are notified when we post our most up-to-date content. Also, please subscribe to our brand new Instagram page, as we will be posting exclusive behind-the-scenes photos and videos that won't necessarily make it on YouTube. Class is dismissed.